Hello class. Today we are going to see the merits and demerits of exchange rate systems. We know that there are two types of exchange rate systems. One is fixed exchange rate and the other one is flexible exchange rate. India adopted fixed exchange rate systems since the year of independence till 1991. It was during the year 1991 that we changed from fixed exchange rate to flexible exchange rate. And as a result, we have adopted a new act, which is known as FEMA, which stands for Foreign Exchange Management Act. Until then, until 1991, we had an act which is known as FERA, which stands for Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. So the regulation has been uh, shifted or replaced by the management, and that process was undertaken by RBI. Earlier it was regulation, now it is only the management. Let us see what are the case for fixed exchange rate system, or why India adopted a fixed exchange rate system for a very long time. First thing is that it ensured certainty. There was certainty and people knew that the fixed exchange rate system is going to stay there for a very long time. If $1 was fixed against rupees 60 or rupees 65 Indian rupees, it is not going to change. It is not going to change for a very long time until the RBI resort to devaluation or revaluation. So there was this element of certainty, and which led to security. It led to security among the foreign exchange dealers and the traders, investors, and all the people who belong to the foreign exchange market. So this security ensured that there is no risk involved, because we knew that under fixed exchange rate system, the foreign exchange rate is not going to increase or decrease. So there was the sense of security because there was no risk involved. And the third point is that the fixed exchange rate system encourages long-term capital inflows. So when a country is adopting a fixed exchange rate system, the foreign countries will be interested to invest in those countries. So in the year 1991, there was an argument that if we change from fixed exchange rate to flexible exchange rate, the foreign direct investment will fall down. But it did not happen that way. But anyways, it was a known thing that fixed exchange rate system always attracted or always encouraged long-term capital inflows, because the foreign investors are sure of the exchange rate and they knew that it is going to increase steadily, but after a long time they are definitely going to get the returns. And the next one is it helped the traders who were importing and exporting from a country which is adopting a fixed exchange rate system were able to calculate their returns. They knew for sure that how much profit they can earn and how much money they need to spend and how much income they would be getting. So there was this uh, sense of security and certainty which helped the traders to set their target, to decide the quantity of commodities which needed to be exported or imported. And the last one is it facilitated the multilateral policies. For example, if India is adopting a fixed exchange rate system, and if India has to sign many trade agreements and contract with the neighboring countries, then India would know for sure that uh, these trade agreements and policies would be beneficial to India, because under fixed exchange rate system, the foreign exchange is not going to increase or decrease. So even if India is signing a contract worth crores of rupees, it is easier for India to calculate and determine the income or the revenue which will be generated from those agreements. So in a way, it also helped the multilateral policies. So these are the cases for fixed exchange rate system. Let us see what are the case against the fixed exchange rate system. Okay. So the first thing is that it does not ensure full employment of resources. We economists believe that demand and supply will ultimately lead to a point of equilibrium where the equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price will be determined. So there will be an automatic adjustment mechanism which will lead to full employment of all the resources, and which will also lead to allocation of the resources in such a way that the maximum price is uh, fixed or maximum price is determined. Okay, let us take an example of casual labors. Let us say that suddenly the wage rate of casual laborers or the coolie workers increased from rupees 1000 to rupees 1500. Now, what will happen? When the wage rate of the casual laborers increases, then the demand for the casual laborers will fall. Definitely, the household will be willing to hire very less and less uh, casual laborers for daily jobs. So as a result, when the demand for the casual laborers falls, the casual laborers won't be able to get any employment, right? Meanwhile, many other people who are also doing some other jobs will be now willing to join the casual labor class, because when they find out that the casual laborers are getting 1500 per day or the wage rate has increased, many people will be willing to join casual labor community. Now, the supply of the casual labor community increases. That is the labor, the people who are willing to offer job or people who are willing to work as casual labor increases, and the demand falls. So, when the supply increases and the demand falls in the casual labor market, automatically the unemployment increases, because now the casual laborers are not able to get jobs. So, the unemployment increases. Now, they will be forced to reduce their wage rate because they are not able to get a job. Now, when they reduce the wage rate from 1500 to 1000 to 900, ultimately it will reach a point where everybody is getting job. So let us say that the wage rate has reduced to rupees 800 and now everybody is getting a job. At that point, the demand is completely equal to the supply, because now the households are willing to hire more number of casual laborers because they find it affordable. Rupees 800 is totally fine with them. Now the demand and supply is in equilibrium, and at this point, everybody is getting a job. Everybody gets a job, which ensures full employment. So this ensure of full employment of resources can happen only in an economy when there is automatic adjustment of demand and supply. So this will not happen if a country chooses fixed exchange rate system. Under fixed exchange rate system, the full employment of resources, be it of let's say raw materials or manpower or commodities or services, is not possible. The second argument against fixed exchange rate system is we need to maintain a large foreign exchange reserve. So there are three types of foreign exchange reserves. One is US dollars, the other one is SDR, which is also known as special drawing rights, and the third one is gold. So we have three different types of foreign exchange reserves, and these reserves are maintained by the RBI. RBI maintains a huge collection of gold, a huge collection of US dollars, which is known as foreign exchange reserves, and it also has a collection of documents, which is issued by IMF, and those documents is known as special drawing rights, SDR. We'll study in detail about all this. So basically, what we need to know is under a fixed exchange rate system, a country need to have a huge accumulation of foreign exchange reserve. This is because if in case we have to face a balance of payment disequilibrium, or if we have to face a crisis in balance of payment, then the country will be forced to adopt devaluation. So we know what devaluation is. Devaluation is bringing down the value of home currency by increasing the foreign exchange rate. So the country will be forced to increase the foreign exchange rate, thereby reducing the value of home currency. So devaluation is the only method in order to correct the balance of payment situation if our country is adopting a fixed exchange rate system, right? So in order to avoid the devaluation, frequent devaluation, the country need to have large collection of foreign exchange reserves. So if a country has adopted a fixed exchange rate system, it also has to make sure that the foreign exchange reserve collection is very huge. And the next point is the fixed exchange rate system requires a complicated exchange control mechanism. The exchange control is usually done by the central bank of the country, and the central bank always need to maintain, record, and keep accounts of the foreign exchange rate every day. So that this requires a complicated exchange rate control system. And the next one is it will be affected by the unexpected disturbance in home country. Let us assume that if India is adopting a fixed exchange rate system and India has some serious conditions like political issues or let us say a famine or drought. So as a result, now India need to import a lot of food grains and a lot of commodities from abroad. So in that case, the RBI will be forced to adopt revaluation. Revaluation is a situation where the foreign exchange rate is decreased, thereby increasing the value of home currency. Now, why do we do that? Because by adopting revaluation, we can ensure that the imports are cheaper. If we want the imports to be cheaper, if you don't want the imports to be very expensive, we need to adopt revaluation. Okay, so revaluation makes the imports cheaper and devaluation makes the imports expensive. So usually country used to adopt devaluation so that we can reduce our imports. But if the country faces a war or if the country faces a drought where it is forced to import a lot of commodities from abroad, then the country need to adopt revaluation. So what we see is if there is any disturbance in home country, in a domestic economy, automatically it will have to change the foreign exchange rate policy. It need to adopt revaluation or devaluation accordingly. So this will not happen under flexible exchange rate. So this is one of the demerit that unexpected disturbance in home country will result in a policy change in the fixed exchange rate system. And similarly, another argument against fixed exchange rate system is that it cannot be kept fixed for a very long time because all other countries are adopting a flexible exchange rate system. In that case, a country cannot keep its exchange rate system fixed for a very long time. The trade organizations like WTO and UNCTAD, etc., will be forcing the country to adopt a flexible exchange rate system. Example that we can take is of China. China used to have fixed exchange rate system till the year 2001, 2002. Until then, China had only the fixed exchange rate system. But ultimately, it had to join WTO and it was uh, forced to adopt flexible exchange rate system. So fixed exchange rate system is not advisable and is not practical to follow for a very long time.